DeFi Kingdoms, where you can summon heroes, trade with other players, quest, and fight challenging enemies in a fantasy world brought to life in pixel art animation. Command your legion, claim your legacy.
Hello everybody and welcome to this week's AMA with us, the DeFi Kingdoms team. Really excited to be here today. This is going to be an awesome AMA. We've got some really cool stuff to talk about. But before that, we are starting a couple minutes late because backstage, I was so disappointed and mind blown by my friends here that it took me a minute. They don't like Nickelback, and I find that to be a travesty. It's like a nickel. How You Remind Me was used by Winston as an example of like the worst song, and I don't know how to handle that. So here we are. We're here. I'm excited to be here, but I'm disappointed in my friends here. Winston, go for it. Go for it.
Thank you. I don't think it's the worst song. I just don't think it's that good of a song. And in context, Bolon was singing Bohemian Rhapsody, and I commented like, "Oh, I mean, you could. That's a fine song. At least you could sing a worse song than Bohemian Rhapsody." And he was like, "Yeah." And so I started singing that song, and he started singing it too. He didn't catch on that I was trying to sing a worse song than the song he sang. And then it took a few minutes of making fun of it, and he was like, "Whoa, wait a minute, you don't like that song?" And I had to like explain that, yeah, dude, that's why I was singing it. I was singing it because it's a worse song than Bohemian Rhapsody, which really killed the joke. I mean, it was a hilarious move until that moment. Now, I mean, maybe it'll be funny again now. I don't know. Hubert, you were there. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with Winston on this. I don't know. People that like Nickelback, it's fine. And people like all sorts of music I don't like. But yeah, Nickelback has always been one of those. Just like, oh.
Oh man, and
I will say,
Zip's hopping in on the Nickelback hate train too. I just like it. I don't know when it became a fad to hate on Nickelback. You know?
I was gonna say in the last like 10 or 15 years, it has become kind of a meme.
Yeah,
a meme. Like, dude, like that song "Photograph." Look at this photograph. There's a meme of him saying that it's like a video, and he says, "Look at this graph," and instead of holding the photograph, he's holding a graph of their sales, and they're just going down and down and down and down.
I mean, they are just, one of the most celebrated alt rock bands of all time, but whatever. The biggest knock on them is that they're Canadian. Okay, that's their biggest flaw.
I don't even. That might be racist, Bolon. I'm not sure. I mean, Nickelback sucks for so many reasons that has nothing to do with them being Canadian. Wow. I mean, I don't think they suck. They're not terrible. It's just not my cup of tea. I mean, it came out like I remember when those songs came out. Like that's how old I am. Those came out in like the mid to late 90s or whatever, and it was like whatever, dude. Or maybe it was later than that. Was it the early 2000s? When did those songs come out?
Probably early 2000s.
I don't see my phone around, or I would ask what's her face, but all right, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, dude, moving on past Nickelback, I might just seize control here for a second and just recommend that everybody, if you haven't voted on our bout, my friendo and I have a bout that's going to start in 8 minutes. Make sure you get in there and vote on that. There's only a little, dude, let's not do this again. There's some votes on there, and I feel like we could do more than that, so we could get some more votes on there. Also, since I still have control of things, had a great trip up to Washington last week. Went up there to help Don Johnson empty out. He had 2 storage sheds that were like half full. So I helped him empty those out and move some boxes around his house. And turns out he drives like a maniac, and he like lives in a small town. So he like drives like a maniac in a small town, and it is fucking hilarious. Like, when the light turns green and you're turning left, he like tries to beat the car. Like he did this like 3 times where he would just gas it as soon as the light turned green and turn left in front of the cars that's coming down. And the dude just fucking doesn't give a shit about anything. But yeah, helped him out with that. Stayed up there for a couple of days. Washington is beautiful. We were in Olympia, and I can't complain. It was a nice like 8 or 9 days up there. I will say it's my Starlink. Like the way Starlink works is you have to point the thing to the north, and the north side of the parking lot was just fucking 30-foot tall trees. Like that was really tough to get my internet going. So I did a lot of phone interneting and watched a lot of stuff off the old hard drive. Question for you.
What just happened to your mic?
What's going on?
Now you sound normal again.
Okay. Bolon, have you seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Of course.
Okay. Everyone I talked to up there had not seen it, and I talked to some people on the computer, and they had not seen it. And that is like an amazing and horrifying film, like one of the most unique. I watched that one up there when I was up there, but horrifying and unique and bizarre movie. So definitely kick back and watch that.
Wait,
I know we got a lot to do. What's that?
Was that your first time watching it?
No. No.
That was like childhood core memory stuff.
Dude, same with me. Like that when he melts that little shoe, like that haunted me as a kid. I would always be like, all right, let me know when the shoe is melted and I'll come back in the room. I also know
with Trav, because Trav just watched it as well.
Nice, dude. Hey, so Trav, let me know. Did you notice? I didn't notice this as a kid, but Christopher Lloyd is wearing like this comedic nose, that this like beak nose that points like straight down. That's not a spoiler alert. He melts the shoe in like the first that's in like the first 15 minutes. But yeah, Christopher Lloyd is wearing this fake nose that's just like this beak that points straight down. And as a kid, I was like, man, his nose got weird after Back to the Future. How did he do that? But it's like just this comically like pointed straight down beak. Anyway, all right. I know we're really busy. I'm going to fire it back over to you, Bolon. Maybe check in with Hubert. Sorry, Hubert. I don't mean to get in front of everything here. So enjoy. Oh, I got a fight here in a minute. Don't forget to vote on that bout if you haven't.
Hubert, before I make you talk for the rest of the hour anyway, how are you doing today outside of Nickelback?
Yeah, now I'm thinking about Who Framed Roger Rabbit and all the core memories I have of that. Like, I was very afraid of the steamrollers back in the day. Not saying why, but they might play a role in that movie. And like I remember my dad would, when I was a kid, like he would do this steamroller thing where he'd hold me and then like roll around on the ground and like kind of pretend squish me and stuff. That's all. And I do that with my son now too. And I was just thinking about where that all came from. Thanks for linking that together in my brain, Winston.
Dude, happy to do it. You can buy the DVD on Amazon, or you can steal it from the internet if you want to. You can just go and watch it somewhere, stream it. It holds up. Like, it's bizarre and confusing and weird. As an adult, it might be even weird. Like as a kid, I just kind of accepted some things, and as an adult, it's like, that car's alive. They're driving a living car right now. It's fine. It's fine that the car's alive.
You can stream it on Disney Plus, by the way. Oh, our video is getting pulled from YouTube. I said the D word. Anyway, carry on.
Oh, no. Yeah, other than that reminiscence, things are going pretty well. We have a lot to talk about today, so I guess I'll pass it back to you until you pass it back to me again.
That won't take long because while we could spend the rest of this time talking about movies and bands and honestly have a really good time with it, we have a lot of updates to talk about today. We might be sharing some alpha and doing some things and stuffs. So if you did not catch our AMA last week, I highly recommend that you do so because, again, we dropped a lot of new information last week. Some of this week, we will follow up on some of the information from last week, but also a lot of brand new information. So, Hubert, there's been a release pending that people have been waiting for. What's the latest on that release of pet combat bonuses, durability, and enchanting?
Yeah, very, very, very long time coming on that release, but we are finally here. I think with all the testing we've had and everything, there's not really much reason to hold it back any longer, other than I still have some residual worries about some of the balance, but We might adjust one or two things like last minute, but I think we're planning on releasing all of it next week on Wednesday.
Very nice.
Woo!
Let's go. Yeah, so next Wednesday. Now let's break this down, and we're gonna go in reverse order because I don't know why not. Enchanting. Give us we talked a little bit about enchanting last week because I feel like people aren't excited enough about it. But what alpha can you share about enchanting?
Yeah, so enchanting, you may notice on some of your equipment you have empty enchantment slots when you look at their info. You will soon be able to fill those slots with enchantments. It will require some gold and some equipment dust and also potentially some equipment fragments. To do that, you'll be able to like every piece of equipment will have a few options as far as enchantments goes. The list is not anywhere close to as long as what you'll see with pet comet bonuses, but weapons have their own list, armor has their own list, and accessories and shields each have their own list of options available. And the way it works is you can only have one. You can't double up with the same enchantment ID. So, like if there's one that increases your attack, for example, you can't have two that increase your attack. It'll only let you put one on there. But you can have other ones that do other things. And like there are also some that like there's a lower tier and a higher tier. You could start with the lower tier if you wanted to, and then upgrade it to the higher tier. So you're also able to replace enchantments with other ones if you want to. Yeah, that's kind of the main thing. The more powerful ones are going to be more costly to do, and will require dust and fragments. The lower quality ones require just dust. So that kind of gets into durability when I say dust and fragments. So with all equipment, when they run out of durability, or even before, like you could do it when they're like perfectly pristine, you can destroy them and convert them into dust and potentially fragments. The fragments only come from rare equipment and above, so you can get 0 from the gold shop ones, but you can still get dust from those. The way that amount kind of works is you kind of think of your equipment kind of gaining experience as it gets used. So the less durability it has, the less repairs it has remaining. So if you have 0 durability and 0 repairs remaining, that is the best situation for getting the most amount of dust and fragments. And it's not like a random thing. It just follows a formula. So you'll always get the same amount if you destroy a certain piece of equipment with with that much durability and repairs, versus if you like it's pristine, you get a much lower amount. It's about 10 times less of both dust and fragments that you get. And it's kind of an exponential curve as well. So you kind of need to be down to like 0 repairs remaining and like full durability to get to like 60% of what you could get. So that very, very last amount of durability is going to have like the greatest amount of like dust gains if you push through it. Also with that, unless you have any questions or comments about any of that so far, as I can just keep going forever.
Walk, dude. Do your thing.
I support you going forever.
Okay. Yeah, so let's see. Along with that, we're going to be removing the equipment cooldown. So all equipment except for pets can be removed and moved over to other heroes automatically without any waiting time at all, since durability will kind of play the role of the kind of cost involved with using equipment, whereas previously it was more of like a time cost if you want to be moving things around. So that should make it easier for players to, if they have something they like to use and they have multiple teams and they only have one piece of equipment, they could kind of pass it between the heroes. That will mean you're taking a lot more durability damage on that piece of equipment, so it'll wear out faster, but that should make life easier, I would say, for players. But yeah, just have to deal with the durability stuff. And also reminder that along with this as well, you'll be able to do restoration on your equipment, which will use greater divine essence. And what that does is simply like sets your repairs and your durability back to maximum. And every time you do it, it costs 4 additional or like 4 more greater divine essence than it did the time before. So it starts at 4 greater divine essence, then it goes to 8, and then to 12, and so on. So it'll get more and more expensive the more you do it. But there is a way to kind of keep your equipment surviving longer after it gets to 0 repairs and 0 durability. And then also repairing itself is going to be purely a gold cost, and it's something you can do just from within the UI. You don't have to go to a specific NPC for it. And yeah, repair costs and the dust amounts that you can get from equipment is all kind of set manually per equipment. So things that are like very easy to come by will tend to be cheaper to repair. Things that are much rarer will be much more costly. And also like the effectiveness of those rare things also kind of comes into play for their repair costs and their dust rewards as well. So you can see that by checking those things out as when it all comes out. I'm not going to reveal that list of everything, but anyway, so there is all of that. I don't know if I missed anything or if there's any thoughts or questions from anybody on that part of it all.
Yeah, we can dive into a couple things real quick. First and foremost, Winston, this does not appear to be going very well for you.
No, I guess not. I don't know, man. My friendo has this berserker that is very strong, and when he hits everything, it is pretty devastating. So he hit everything, and I think most of those. I mean, I don't want to. I wish I could. I should have pulled the battle thing up, but it was just like 2 crits on his explosion, and then 2 crits on his pirate shooty thing, and then 2 crits on his what's the one, blind rage, and then I just got rocked,
it seemed like things escalated very, very quickly there.
Yeah, that was a tough one, man. That's what berserkers can do. It's like sometimes it's like half of that, they hit some of their stuff and they can be useful, and sometimes they hit none of that stuff, and sometimes they just hit 100% of them, and that's what happened this time. Yeah, just got rocked. That was like what, 30 turns? Probably less than 30.
Yeah, it was very quick.
Too bad.
Very quick.
Good game, my friendo. Good game.
Do y'all have another bout? Is that right?
No, we did one earlier. I was hoping to run a tournament and a bout, but the feedback that I got after putting the tournament up was that people wanted to listen today.
Yeah, I might have done some damage to your ability to run a tournament by accident by saying
nice job.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Anyway, back over to you, Hubert, and these updates. So, enchanting. Would you be willing to give an example of an enchantment? Anyone that you want.
Let's see. So let's see. On accessories, we have one called Thorns that will just add a chance to inflict bleed on hit. And it's a 5% chance right now is what that's set at. So you can just add that to any of your accessories, and just that will just, now you have more bleed chance on top of everything else that you might have. So that's one of them. There are, I think accessories have the largest list as far as options go. Shields are a little bit limited on what's available. Same for armors and weapons as well. And I'll note, as I did get some feedback on this, that the list might feel a little underwhelming compared to, we have a very large list of pet combat bonuses coming, and that is by design. Like the enchantments are intended to really be a part of the crafting system. Like there are enchanting heroes out there that don't have a place to sit at this point because we don't have the crafting system out. But I didn't want to go, like, this is supposed to be enchanting light, really. Like,
Right.
they will be good enchantments. You can add them to your equipment and it will benefit you. But getting into a place where there's like a very large amount of variety of them, I would want that to be part of the crafting system. So that it gives people with enchanting heroes, they don't feel like they have, it just got hard for people to get enchantments because it went from an easy NPC to now you have to deal with the whole crafting system to get the things that you were used to be able to get. I just didn't really like that idea. So yeah, it is a little bit on the lighter side as far as what's available, but I think there are plenty of options there, and that they will still help you. And there's always a chance that we might add 1 or 2 or 3 more down the road before we get to the actually having the crafting system out. But no guarantees there. It just could happen.
Nice. That is super exciting, though. With durability, I think we've talked before a little bit about, or actually, sorry, question from chat. Will it be possible to remove enchantments?
Remove, no, but you can overwrite them. Yeah, if you did like a lower tier one, you wanted to upgrade it, or you just wanted to change it to a different one that's available, you can do that. But yeah, I didn't really see a reason to add the option to just completely remove it. And there's no like discount or anything if you overwrite either. It's just you pay the enchanting cost and it will just replace it. So and I guess also there are no tracking things that will give you more dust or more things if a piece of equipment is enchanted either. It's just every piece of equipment has the same curve, even if it has like the best bonus option versus the lowest bonus option, and if it has no enchantments or all enchantments.
Nice. Perfect. Thank you. On the durability front, I think we've talked before about like how durability will work, if I remember correctly, in terms of like when you can lose durability and how. But do you want to give a refresher on that?
Sure. Yeah, so basically all combat content except for just private bouts will have a durability loss piece to it. It works kind of differently for each of the 3 main things, like hunts and patrols and tournaments. Right now with hunts, both of them will have a 90% chance to do durability damage to each piece of equipment on each hero, and it's a roll it's separate per piece of equipment. So you could end up with your weapon was fine, but your armor and your accessory took a durability damage. In the future, with future hunts, there could be some that do more than 1 durability damage or have like more than 1 chance for durability damage. But as it stands with the current ones, it's just 1. You can reduce that chance either globally or per piece of equipment through there will be a new power up that you can use to, at least for hunts, that will reduce that chance per hero for their entire equipment set by 10%. So you have to add it on a per hero basis. There is another one. Another way to reduce it through one of the pet combat bonuses. So if you have that pet equipped, it will just reduce the chances for everything that hero has equipped. And then there are also enchantments that you can add that will also further reduce the chances of taking durability damage. And that's like on that specific piece of equipment too. So like if you go ham on durability damage reduction effects, then you can really bring that down and increase the longevity of your equipment by quite a bit. So there is that. And then on the other 2, so patrols, it's kind of tracked separately. It's based on like how many enemies you defeat. Every enemy has like a durability damage chance score that is there, and it gets kind of added all together. So if you just do like 1 round of patrols, you might have like a 15% chance of taking durability damage on everything. But if you do like a full set, then then it's like a 45% chance or something. And then like depending on what enemy it is, like the rarer enemies will have a higher durability damage chance on them as well. So if the number ever goes above 100%, then that actually becomes 2 separate rolls. So you have like a 100% roll, and then like say it's 120%. You'd have like a 100% roll and then a second 20% roll that would happen. And so you could potentially take up to 2 durability damage, but the chances of that are kind of low, at least with how it is right now. But as patrols gets expanded, if it has longer, like you could go 4 rounds or 5 rounds, then that kind of will start adding up more. So in hunts, it will do durability damage if you lose, but not if you retry. So retry it kind of counts as just restarting from the beginning. So it's whatever, like whether you win or lose, eventually if you pull your hero out of that hunt, then you have kind of the same durability damage chance.
But otherwise, same as potions. Retry just resets everything.
Yeah, right. So there's that. And then on tournaments, so with that, it's a 75% chance win or lose per round. So if you make it to the final round, it's like a 4-round tournament, you'd have 4 75% chance rolls that would happen at the end when you're claiming your heroes. You could potentially lose up to 4 durability in that case. The different bonuses I mentioned could reduce that. And I guess there'll also be something to note that when you get into it, and I guess I'll reveal a couple other enchantments just to talk about this. There is a reinforcement enchantment that decreases the durability loss chance on your first roll, and then there's another one called resilience that reduces the chance on every roll. So for like tournaments where there could be up to 4 rolls, the resilience would reduce the chance on each of them. Reinforcement would just reduce the chance on that first one, and then the other 3 would not get that extra bonus. And the pet combat bonus that does this is also like reinforcement. So those second, third, and fourth rolls will still be higher. And the power up also is just on the first roll as well. So only the resilience enchantment has that effect of affecting any additional rolls beyond the first one.
Nice.
So
that's awesome. As far as pet combat bonuses go, how many did we end up with?
So yeah, with pet combat bonuses, switching over to that. 1 second, let me look at that list again.
Which you already dropped some alpha on them, because now we know that there's one about durability.
There is one about durability. So yeah, there are 77 different pet combat bonuses available. Of those, let's see. So for 3-star bonuses, every option is available on 3-star. So there's 77 options for 3-star. But for 1 and 2-star, it cuts off sooner. So there are 23 options for 1-star bonuses. And then there are 58 options for 2-star bonuses. So there are an additional 19 that are exclusive to 3-star bonuses. So it's a pretty big list.
That is a pretty big list. So question for the chat, weigh in, let us know. Do you guys want the fun of finding bonuses on your own? Do you want us to put out a list ahead of time? Maybe do a little bit of both. We're going to be figuring out what we want to do here in the short term, obviously, because they come out next Wednesday. So weigh in the chat. Let us know what you would like to see. If you want to know all 77 bonuses ahead of time, or, some of them, none of them, have some fun, get to re-roll your pets and discover these bonuses for yourself. there is actually, it was a question that was submitted anyway, but also just relevant to this topic. Where will players be able to re-roll their pets to reveal their combat bonuses?
Yeah, so that's done with like the hatching NPCs. We won't make it available on Kaya since we're shutting down, pausing things over there, and so it will be available on DFK Chain and on Metis as well. We'll be adding an NPC over there to help handle that, and then there will also be an enchanting NPC on Metis as well. So you'll be able to do enchanting either on DFK Chain or Metis. So that should make it a little easier. You don't, if you have heroes that are pledged on Metis, you'll still have options to like do enchanting, do like reveal any combat bonuses that your pet might have, without needing to do any bridging or anything like that. So
awesome. Trying to bring it to you. I love it. So with that, well, I guess before I potentially change the topic, any other general updates on those three pieces that you want to give?
I guess just one other note on the pet combat bonuses. The vast majority of them have a range of how much the effect can give. For example, if I look at this one that does like a chance to inflict days on hit, the 2-star bonus has a range of 1 to 2%, and the 3-star has a range of 3 to 5%. So that, even if you do get one of the bonuses, you might not have like the very best version of that bonus available. Some of them have much larger ranges than just that. Like that one example had a pretty short range on both. But there's others where it like ranges between like 50 to 85 percent and things like that too. So that can be some pretty large swings. There can be some that are smaller swings. There's one that actually does not have a range. I think there's only just one that doesn't have that range. So everything else is going to have a lot of variety there, and the availability of the range, or like how far it can go, is going to be tied to the number of stars of the bonus. So if it's one that is available for a 1-star, like the 1-star range might go between like 6 and 10%, whereas the 3-star version might go from like 25 to 40% or something like that.
Very nice. Yeah, that is really good to know as well. There's going to be so much variety from pet bonuses, which is just super exciting and is going to bring a whole new aspect of fun to all of the combat. Pets are the only equipment without durability as well. So with this coming up, we talked last week about a Halloween event coming up, and go ahead, Winston. You want to talk about this tournament first?
Oh no, that's it. It's up. It's hosted by Bolon's Dirty Laundry. You can win yourself a Hydra's Gaze, 250 jewel, and this one's going to be level 15 with the normal. Well, that's actually, I guess, new, but it's a maximum 6 trait, maximum 6 for the team trait score. So you got 46 minutes. Bolon's Dirty Laundry. Don't let them down. So sorry to interrupt you. Thank you.
Apparently, nobody wanted to support the shirt that I wasn't wearing, so hopefully they'll give some love to my Dirty Laundry.
I hope so. We got to put some of your shirts up and like get a visual where it's like, here's the shirt that is hosting this this tournament. So
that is an option. That is an option. We do have support for that. We can get the image in there.
We have the technology. Yeah.
Now I just want to make Beetledude approve an image of my shirt. Follow-up question, actually, Hubert, on the last thing that you were talking about with the ranges for pet bonuses. Is it an equal percentage chance to get any result within that range, or are you more likely to get the lower end of it?
Yeah, so for pet bonuses, it works the same for profession quests or profession bonuses and combat bonuses. It's just an equal percentage chance. So that makes it a little bit easier. It's not like equipment, how that can, the very best is a very rare thing. It would have been a lot of extra work to make it that way. So
So everybody's got the same chance of getting the highest end as the lowest end and everything in between.
yeah, and also for like the selection of which bonus you get as well. If you're rolling a 3-star bonus, you have a 1 in 77 chance of getting the specific one that you want.
Okay.
And then you have, if you want the best of that, it's whatever the range is. Like if it has a range of 10, then it's
Right.
a 1 in 10 chance that you're going to get the best of that too. So 1 in 77 times 1 in 10 is your chance to get the very best of that thing.
Gotcha. So no sliding odds on this one. And yes, the rarity of the pet will have different ranges. So the 3-star bonus will be a higher range than the same 2-star.
Right. So yeah, with 1 star, if you're going for something specific, I guess your chance of getting that specific thing is going to be the highest. So,
but it's also going to be
it'll be the lowest quality of that bonus.
Right. Right. Excellent. So, yes, amount of stars, not rarity of pet. That is correct. I say confidently as if I know.
Yeah, which I believe you can only get up to 3-star on legendary and mythic pets.
Yeah, the rarity of the pet determines how many stars you could have gotten at that time.
Actually,
I
think rares can actually get 3 stars. The rare pets is just a low chance.
Yeah, they can.
Okay. Well, yeah. So the rarity of the pet determines how many stars you could have gotten when the pet was hatched. At this point, the number of stars is what matters for determining the bonus itself. Yep, confirmed by Kurt. He has rare 3 stars. I didn't really believe Winston, but I'll believe Kurt.
It's fine. That's fine with me.
So last week we talked about an upcoming Halloween event. We're going to talk more about that, but we have a really, really big release coming next week. Are we doing anything to celebrate?
We sure are. So we will be doing a contest for pet hatching on DFK Chain. It will count only. We're just going to be counting on the hatching side. So as long as it's within the period that you hatch a pet, then you will get that counted for raffle tickets. We're going to be giving away 50 of the Cinnabar and the Celadon, I believe. Cerulean, I think. Cerulean. 50 each of those. The helms that were from the Transcendence event. You get raffle entries for those, depending on which egg type you're hatching. So the blue eggs will go for Cerulean. The Cinnabar will be tied to gray eggs, which doesn't match color-wise, but it is what it is.
I tried.
And then the Celadon one will be a little bit different. There'll only be 25 of those available, but that will be from green eggs as well. So there will also be a difference in how many tickets you get depending on which hatching method you use. So if you use, I guess in the tier, I'm forgetting the first 2 names. I know Boone.
Guy's Favor is the lowest one, and Grace is the middle.
Favor and Grace, yes. So yeah, Favor will give you 1 ticket if you hatch a pet. Grace gives you 10 tickets, and then Boone will give you 50 tickets per hatching. So they're very, very asymmetrical there. Follows the same kind of like tiering that is there as far as like how much it costs. And tiering is not a word, but anyway. Yeah, and so yeah, I guess that will go for 30 days, and then we'll do the raffle rolling after that. I think we're not going to do anything to like restrict it to 1 winner per wallet or anything like that. And So yeah, same person can win multiple potentially. It's just going on hatching events. So like if you run out of eggs for some reason, you have also the option of, there's always the pet trade-in option where you can trade in 2 pets for a new egg. So that is something you could potentially do instead of like buying new eggs if you wanted to. And yeah, so we hope you guys go ham with that and get yourself a bunch of pets.
Yes. Yeah. So I'll be putting together a Discord announcement with all of those details as well. But the short version is DFK Chain only. It will start once the release of pet combat bonuses goes live, run for 30 days. Every egg you hatch gets you at least 1 entry, potentially more entries, depending on which hatching type you use or hatching method. And then 3 different raffles, 1 for each color egg. So stay tuned for the full detailed announcement. But really looking forward to that as well. To Hubert's point, so it is DFK Chain only, but we are tracking the hatching event. So you could start incubating eggs at any time. And as long as you don't hatch them until after the event starts, you're good. But you also don't have to. Entirely up to you guys. And you'll have 30 days to get those hatches in, which once we do that release, when you hatch eggs, they will already have their combat bonuses determined, which will be a lot of fun as well. Cool. Yeah, I think we covered everything there well. So that will kind of coincide with our Halloween event. So we talked about the Halloween event a little bit last week. Essentially it will be around transcending heroes. And if you transcend specific heroes, you'll get an additional reward in the form of an enhancement stone that allows you to summon a new hero with a unique skin color. As mentioned last week, there are 2 skin colors available. Hubert, any additional info you want to give on that in terms of timing or just anything in general?
Yeah, so it's going to be part of the same big release. So as soon as that has been concluded and is live, you guys can start. The stones will be available, and the UI should reflect that you're getting those things, and also show you that there are available options for that class if they are available for that class. And we're planning to do that for about 90 days. It'll go until the end of January 31st. Let's see, I will also kind of give the list of like what we're going to be setting as far as the counts of everything. We'll probably put that on our Discord. So if you are interested in that, you can look there. It should be pinned in general chat sometime after this AMA. And I plan to do it quickly, I promise. But yeah, so let's see.
I can throw that in the announcement as well.
Okay. Yeah, well, that as well.
Pin it in Gen Chat, but I'll also throw it in.
And then let's see. So yeah, the 2 different stones. So you'll be able to get one of the 2 options if you transcend a hero that is common or uncommon. If it is rare or a legendary, it will give you 2, and it's a random chance per stone. So you could end up with 1 of each or 2 of the same. And then if it's a mythic hero, you can get 3, and it's again random chance, so you can get either 3 of the same or 1 of one and 2 of the other. It'll be how that will work. And yeah, the stones, like I said, it will force the specific new skin color on the hero when they're summoned. So you could do that with regular summoning or with dark summoning, and it will also include some stat bonuses as well. There's one that's more focused on like melee stats, so strength, dexterity, endurance, and vitality will each get a small bump, and not just to their stats, but also to their stat growth on those same things. And then the other 8 stats will be buffed by the other stone. And those stones themselves will count as regular stones for the purposes of like when you're doing transcending. If you transcend one of those heroes that use those stones, it'll give you the bonus of a regular stone when you do that. So I think we have about like 11,000 or so, maybe closer to 12,000 heroes that we're hoping to be burned through this. With so that but then there's some that will give you 2 and some that will give you 3, so it's more stones than that possible. And the random chance should kind of put it about half and half between that number. And yeah, you can, if you want to do the math and add it all up, I will leave that to you guys to do about how many potential stones are possible. But it will have that all out for you. But yeah, and a reminder again, if you weren't here last week when we talked about it, the reason why we're doing it as a Transcendence event is to help prepare for Ragnarok, which is going to be the new PvP feature that we're going to be releasing in the future, where players will not be using their own heroes, but they will be commanding armies of the gods that have been transcended from the players. And it's going to be kind of like a drafting system where you're going to have a few options to work with and draft amongst other peers and kind of pick and create teams using those heroes. So we need heroes to be available for that to work. So right now there's kind of especially a lack in the higher levels, and especially a lack on the dark summoning side. Yeah, that's a lot of info, but we haven't gotten the AMA questions yet.
You're right. Make sure you go listen to last week's AMA if you didn't. So a couple of things that are AMA questions, but also related to these topics anyway. So when you transcend heroes, obviously you can also transcend pets. With pets potentially being transcended with combat bonuses revealed, do pets have a planned part in Ragnarok?
At least not at first. It could be added later, but we are trying to keep it so that it's a little bit more digestible for brand new players. And including pet combat bonuses right off the bat, I think are going to be just a little bit too much information overload. So in the future, it may make a difference, but yeah, right at the beginning, no.
Very nice. One other question / update. I know a couple of people have asked about any updates with Sarandale. So this past Monday, we did pause summoning, starting new summons, starting new egg hatches, starting new transcendences as well, and some of the bridging, like bridging from DFK Chain to Kaya, but not bridging off of Kaya. So that part has been completed. As far as next steps go, we are planning out the next step as well as the timing of that step currently. So stay tuned for more details on that. Yes, we know that one of those things needs to be the ability to withdraw your jewel from the jeweler without a penalty. That is on the list of things. So hang tight. We'll have more info coming on next steps for Kaya as well, which I feel like is kind of just the main takeaway of this AMA. Listen to everything we just said and then stay tuned, because there's going to be a lot of information coming and several announcements coming that I'm going to try to combine into one giant announcement, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, definitely stay tuned for more on all of these topics. Let's see. We are about at the top of the hour, so I'm going to snag one more question because it's about Ragnarok anyway, and then the remainder we will put on hold until next week. And actually, I lied. Sorry, there's going to be two. The first one is, Hubert, will Gen Zeros have a special role to play in Ragnarok?
They do, by creating all of the heroes that are used for Ragnarok. You still will not be able to burn Gen Zeros. So yeah, they are the genesis of everything that goes into Ragnarok, and that's special.
Any insight that you can give on how, like, what stage Ragnarok is currently in? Is it more brainstorming, laying out plans, or has some amount of active work already started on it?
Yeah, so we have most of the artwork, I'd say, is done for like the preliminary release. I'd say there's maybe a little bit more to do, but it's pretty close to being done. The combat engine drafting piece is still being worked on, and the contract stuff has begun, but it's not complete. So it is. I think we're past the brainstorming stage on most things. Say the thing that probably is still like needing to be finalized is all the way that the rewards will work, and that's basically it. Figure out rewards is always a big piece of the puzzle. We still need to solve that too. So there's still quite a bit to go, I'd say, but it is pretty much, once we now have, get everything that is about to release next week out of the way, it's going to be kind of the primary focus until it's done.
Very nice. Yeah, definitely no estimated timeline yet. But it is getting started, which is really exciting. And still plenty more to do, but looking forward to that. It's going to be a really cool feature. All right, so with that, we are going to go into our wrap up for the day. I know we got to less questions this week, but we had a lot of things to give you guys updates on. Hopefully you all appreciated all of those updates. Like I mentioned before, make sure you stay tuned for some announcements. We'll be giving you all of the details and all of the juicy information in announcements as well. In the meantime, thank you as always to everyone who has tuned in, everybody listening live, and those who will listen to this recording a little bit later. Shout out to our audience across all of the platforms. We are live right now on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Arena. So thank you to everyone tuned in across the internet. Shout out also to everybody who submitted questions for us. As I mentioned, we didn't get to as many of them this week, but that's okay. We have them and we will get to them next week. So worry not, your question is safe and secure in our repository of questions. As always, you can submit your questions to be answered in the AMA questions channel in Discord. And a special shout out to Hubert and Winston for coming up here and hanging out with me for an hour, answering all of your questions, particularly Hubert this week, who talked for probably, 52 of the 54 minutes that we've been live. So thank you, Hubert, for everything you do and all of the insight into what's coming next. With that, I'm going to make Hubert go last and sign us off. So Winston, any final thoughts, anything you want to share, anything you want to talk about? What's going on?
Thanks, Bolon. Yeah, it's always a pleasure to get up here and hang out with you two, or sometimes Dreamer, or sometimes somebody else, but always just a delight to hang out and chat with you guys. And thank you to all our delightful and wonderful community who is coming through and playing. Looks like we got 4 for this tournament. Don't let that spook you, though. It's only level 15. You could get in there. You could win this whole thing. These guys are chumps, especially T-Heat, biggest chump in the room. That's sorry, dude, taking shots. I didn't see him in the chat, so I figured I could pull that off without him. I won't tell him I said that. All right, that was
now
meant
Now
to be
we
funny.
find out if he was lurking or not.
Yeah, well, it's meant to be funny, and it just came off kind of mean and like take it back. Yeah, I was also going to say we're kind of reaching the end of this series of tournaments I've been doing. So the last like 5 or 6 are going to have really cool prizes, and then we're going to start a new series of something else, maybe something with Keanu Reeves, or I don't know. I'm taking suggestions on who we base this whole thing on after, but we're just the things that are happening are so exciting, and I am super B-word because of that. It just feels like in some ways it's almost like a fresh start, like a bunch of brand new things happening all at once. Yeah, what a time to be owning my own legion of heroes. So thanks, Bolon. Thanks for giving me a moment there, and I'm going to fire it back over to you.
Very nice, very nice. Hubert, anything that you'd like to add? Anything you feel like you didn't have a chance to say?
Yeah, I guess I just like to shout out to our whole development team and everyone, not specifically devs, just everyone on the team. Like, it's been a lot of effort to get to this point. Durability was a very large addition that we had planned since the beginning of equipment being released, but we did everything in increments. We wanted to have more combat features out and a bunch of things like that. That combined with being able to do enchanting. I guess I didn't even mention, but you also, I've said it before, you will also be able to, when you dust equipment, that you can pay an optional fee to turn that equipment into a visage. So that is another thing you'll be able to do. So we might start seeing, people with, that looks like they're using Excalibur, but actually it's not. So that'll be fun. Yeah, like there's just so much that went into it. It's going to be a huge upgrade. I expect there's going to be some degree of issues that we're going to have to kind of solve in real time. So have patience with us when that all happens. Like, basically every contract is going to get paused for a while as we do a bunch of upgrades. My fingers get exercised as I have so many ledger button presses to press on the multi-sig, and Magnus will be probably all sorts of fried by the end of it all, as we need to make sure everything's working and all that stuff and hook everything up. It's going to be a lot. So yeah, really shout out to everyone for all the effort involved to get to this point. And I'm really excited for this kind of next step in the evolution of the game. It's finishing up, I think, basically everything to do with equipment functionality at this point. The only thing left would be like when we get subclasses in place, which will add the ability to equip to the secondary equipment slots, and then that will be all of it. There will be nothing left to add except for more equipment. And for pets, this gets us to 2/3 of the way done with what pets can provide. So we're more than halfway there at this point, and the last piece will just come with crafting. So it's just really great to kind of see these really major pieces come together. I know durability is going to be a big shift for players, as now you're going to have to think about the life of your equipment, but also your equipment does have a lot of durability and repairs on it and can be restored. So, as scary as it sounds, I don't think it's going to be as like fast as you might imagine it would be for them to kind of all degrade. So, so try it out, see how it is. And ultimately this just kind of helps put, helps the ecosystem have, a less of just a saturation effect where equipment can start to leave the ecosystem instead of just being added only. So I think overall it's going to be good. I expect that there will be a lot of players that start farming for equipment dust, and so that's going to be a new resource, dust and fragments, that people will probably be farming for, trying to get enchantments on specific equipment, and everything else. There's just going to be a lot. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Appreciate all the support from all of you players for everything that getting to this point. It's been a lot, and there's still a lot left that we want to add to the game, but this is a major accomplishment. So with that, I am bullish.
Bullish.
Thank you, everybody, and we will see you all next week.
DeFi Kingdoms, where you can summon heroes, trade with other players, quest, and fight challenging enemies in a fantasy world brought to life in pixel art animation. Command your legion, claim your legacy.